Congressman, we do, to the extent there are concerns, we look into them, and it's.
Have you expressly launched an investigation into political bias of your employees?
On our employees, you said?
Yes.
To the extent, we always take any allegations around code of conduct across every issue seriously, and we look into them.
You said to me yesterday that as it relates to political bias, you haven't launched those investigations because there are so many redundancies and there is so much peer review that would not be possible. Is that still your testimony today?
Congressman, yes, it's the way our processes work. If you need to make a change in our algorithms, there are several steps in the process, including launch committees and user testing and our rater guideline evaluation.
But at your company, your employees can get together and chat in groups, right? Google groups?
Yes, they can.
And one of those groups is the Civil Rights Group, right?
We have many employee resource groups on which they can participate in conversations, yes.
Have you ever looked into the conversation into the Resist group?
Congressman, no.
Is that a surprise to you that there's a Resist group?
I'm not aware whether such a group exists or not.
If there was a Resist group, would that be the type of thing that you would want to look into?
We have clear policies around how our products are built. And
no, but if there's a Resist, you know that the Resist movement is a movement built to resist the agenda of President Trump. If there's a Resist group within your company where groups of employees, not one, are getting together within that group to engage in discourse on company time with company infrastructure, does that strike you as the type of thing you would want to investigate?
Congressman, I'm not aware of any such group. None like that has been brought to my attention, and happy to follow up, and understand the concern better.
Yeah, Mr. Chairman, I seek unanimous consent to enter into the record a document from what purports to be Google employee Miles Borens, which is opposed to the Google group Resist.
Without objection, so ordered.
I'm also reading now from the discussion that occurred over Breitbart and Google Ads, and I'm quoting from one of your employees who purportedly posted, "Anyone want to hold their nose and look through Breitbart.com for hate speech? Why would someone need to hold their nose to do that work?"
Congressman, today we have 90,000 employees, and they communicate in forums. As a company, we have allowed freedom of expression, and we don't stand or condone comments expressed in these things. We are very clear about our policies as to how we build our products, and we serve our publishers that way.
Well, if you haven't launched an investigation into any of your employees, because it would take a group of employees to engage in improper conduct, and if those groups of employees are engaging in discussion on your platform, and if one of those platform groups is Resist, and if on that Resist movement site or any other sites in your platform there's discussion of suppressing conservative speech, why would that not be something that you would launch an internal investigation in, publish the reports, sanction those employees that may or may not be engaged in improper conduct, so that we can all have greater comfort in the user experience?
Congressman, first of all, I want to assure you, we have checks and balances so that employees, and we not just on this issue, across any issue, we protect the sanctity of our systems, our product development process, and we would do that.
How can I have confidence that you're protecting the sanctity of your system when you don't even know that your employees are getting together on your own company's infrastructure to talk about political activity?
In general, we always assume our systems are designed. We assume there could be bad intent. So we've designed from first principles because, for security reasons, both externally and internally, at any given moment, we assume that somebody may be acting in bad faith. And that's how we have designed our systems with all the protections in place. We need to do that for our security of our systems, and it's a first principles approach.
So if your assumption is that people can act in bad faith, why then have you not launched an investigation into the communications that seem to indicate a desire to suppress conservative political movements and conservative voices?
Well, if there are allegations around discussions which are specific with the intent of manipulating our products, we would conduct an investigation.
Okay, well, that's good to hear. The Wall Street Journal reported that your workers were discussing tweaking search terms to frame the discussion over the travel ban. Did you perform an investigation into that allegation?
We looked into it. There was no attempt at anything to influence our products. There are at times during important news events, for example, during events like hurricanes, et cetera, we have a set of tools, crisis response tools. during the travel ban, even the Department of Homeland Security was looking to put out information because there was some confusion around the event. So there was some discussion around things like that too. And so,
Well, I would strongly suggest that one of the crisis response tools that you use is in an investigation into the discourse of your employees on resisting the Trump presidency, resisting the Trump agenda, and then smothering some of the conservative outlets that seek to amplify that content. I yield back, Mr. Chair.